Great recap of the day. I took 3 trades today. So we can hear. Alright. So off the daily of I was seeing we were in daily fair value gap. We were sitting in that. Off 4 hour, we had swept liquidity and we were also seeing liquidity. We created a SMT and we were within this 4 hour fair value gap on ES. On NQ, we had 4 hour fair value gap as our take profit to I was hoping to tap into. Not only that, but we had our 0.5 range. So if price were to come back in, that would be our 0.5 range would be right below or right at that fair value gap. So I was hoping to reach into that. Off of the 2 hour, similar structure, swept liquidity, looking to push higher. Off 1 hour, same structure. Now here we were more bullish, stayed within this fair value gap here, this 1 hour fair value gap. So I was looking to hold that price action and display higher. Currently we are not. Currently disrespecting that off of sell side liquidity. We are swooping here because price also came up. Off of the 15-minute, we had swept liquidity to the downside, creating an SMT because price decided to sweep to the upside. So I took an early trade right off market open. Right off market open, I took this trade here on NASDAQ. Price had, right here, on NASDAQ, price had come up, tapped, or sorry, that's bad. Sorry, on NASDAQ, price had tapped into our 0.5 around this range here and pushed up higher, giving us an inverse fair value gap, which I used on ES because ES was more bullish off of this here. The close push to the upside, I was looking for 1 minute off of ES right here. I was going based off of this 1 minute change of structure. We broke structure to the upside and we pushed. I was hoping for price to do a little bit something here, not push so high up. But anyways, I entered based off of the candle close, which was here, put stops just below, and I was targeting Asia highs. Now, as soon as price swept out London, I moved my stops to break even because that's a high draw on liquidity that I did not want to risk getting stopped out on. So I put my stops break even and I hit break even on that trade. Second trade was on NASDAQ. That was by accident. I didn't mean to, but if I would have held, or I meant to do it on ES, but it's okay. If I would have held, I would have actually hit full TP. As you can see, if I drag this right here, that's full TP that I would have smacked. But because I am so much in drawdown right now on my eval, I did not want to risk losing the account, especially since price closed below here. Anyways, so similar structure. I was looking for more. Price came back, swept sell side liquidity. We had our SMT still. Then we got an inverse right here. From that, let's get rid of this. From that, price came into our 0.5 range. Tapped the 0.5 range. Displaced higher. It's a little bit choppy here, but if we go into ES, around that point we had a this point right here we had Oh yeah, it was this year. Okay. So we had a 5 minute fair value gap here that I had marked out right here. This 5 minute fair value gap. Perfect. Now, with that fair value gap, when I entered on my trade on NQ, NQ was pushing up. But the reason that I put my stops break even right away instead of holding it is because ES was in that 5 minute fair value gap. Well, as soon as price came up here, swept this out, I put my stops to break even because on ES, price was also in that 5 minute fair value gap, brought my stops to break even, and I got stopped out at break even. I was looking for a 1-to-1. I would have, if price would have came up, if price would have came up and swept this, I would have trailed here and seen how far I could push market. Pushed for a win there. And then my third here was based off of the bias that we've had throughout the day, the bullish bias, including this that S&T, and then equilibrium getting filled here, inversed, giving us a second equilibrium here, inversed on both ES and NASDAQ right about here, right about at this point right here. And so I entered off of that, targeting these highs. My break even point was about when Nasdaq swept the previous highs. That's when I put my stops break even there, and then I got stopped out. So after my third break even trade, I decided to call it a day because I'm not going to be trading in a market like that, even though I did. But that's all right, I guess. I can't really log into my account here. But yeah. All right. Peace.